You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. A man accused of assaulting two hospital staff workers in North Carolina. This is after allegedly spraying blood into their eyes that contained HIV in it. This happened in March. Cameron Gilchrist was arrested months later. It's still unclear why it took that long for charges to be filed. He's being held on a $25,000 bond. Joining us to talk about it, criminal defense attorney Baoji Akingbala and Dr. Adesole Oyewole, who practices family medicine. So, Doc, first of all, when you see a medical staff put in jeopardy like this, their lives threatened, you guys have to face that every day on the front lines. But for them to go through that, what are you feeling seeing something like this happen?
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult because we are taking care of patients, right? We sacrifice a lot to take care of patients, and we're starting to see an uptick and a rise of violence for healthcare providers. So it's really difficult. It's mentally taxing. There's a lot of anxiety and burnout in healthcare workers. It's really hard.
And in the past, Baoji, we would see some serious charges, even like attempt murder in a case like this, when we weren't so educated about HIV, AIDS, and all of that. What are the charges in this case, and do you think they're appropriate as a former prosecutor?
Well, those type of charges are still possible because when you are contracting HIV, that's a disease that you cannot cure, right? And I know we have medicine that can prolong someone's life, but that does lead to potential death. And so we would consider that serious bodily injury under legal terms. And there have been countless cases of people who had HIV, who were having sex with partners and knowingly were having sex and transmitted it, who have been charged with either attempted murder or aggravated assault. In this case, what he was charged with was assault of a medical personnel. And so they didn't really get to the aggravated element of it, but they more so focused on the fact that the person who was receiving the assault was someone who was in the medical industry. And in many jurisdictions, when you assault someone in the medical industry, they will upgrade the charges simply for who that person is.
And what do we know about Mr. Gilchrist in your research of this segment?
What I do know is that he has HIV, obviously, right? But some questions that remain is, did he know at the time what his status is? Because that's very relevant with respect to what you were hinting at, whether or not he should have his charges upgraded to something more serious like aggravated assault or attempted murder.
And Doc, really quick, I want to make sure we're accurate in this. Now we're at a position where people can live long lives with HIV, though. There's not necessarily a death sentence.
No, it's not a death sentence. There's medication to prolong your life. And actually, people with HIV, we know now, because of the constant health care and visits that they're having, they actually live longer than the general population. When a healthcare worker is exposed, they undergo post-exposure prophylaxis, and there is a very low likelihood that there's going to be transmission, but there needs to be protocols in place.
Now, explain to us what you just said.
Post-exposure
is.
Post-exposure prophylaxis is an antiviral medication that a patient will take, or that a healthcare worker can take for 28 days to prevent transmission of the virus. And then you test in 6 months just to make sure that they didn't actually get the virus. But that is very, very effective, over 90% effective.
Now, while this is an egregious situation, horrible situation that these nurses, you guys are prepared for something like this to happen as well. You're trained as well. Besides the drug that you're telling us about, you guys, when you walk into this industry, you know there is a potential for something like this to happen.
Right, we do know that. We're prepared. The first thing that you would do in this situation would be wash your eyes out as good as you can with normal saline. Immediately, within the first 24 hours, start the prep, and then just continue testing. But there are protocols in place. Every hospital has protocols in place when this happens.
All right, we want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.